Welcome, Collective, to Timeless Energy. I am Barbara. This is a general, timeless reading. This is for entertainment purposes only. Watch out for scammers in the comment section below. It's not me. This is my disclaimer. You, of course, have free will. But, okay. But it's not me. And that's my disclaimer. If you should see anybody reaching out, giving their contact information. I haven't had that much of a problem with anything like that because I'm just starting, but... Okay. This is Timeless Energy. And I am going to start adding the Runes Oracle, one of these cards, to my Timeless Energy. My Timeless Energy is a 3-card draw. I got these Rune Oracles. I have runes decorating. What's decorating? I've always liked runes. I'm not familiar with working with them. But you have to bear with me. We're going to pull Spirit Guide Me. Spirit Guide Me. One of the rune cards for my reading. One of the rune cards for my reading. Spirit Guide Me with a message. Spirit Guide Me with a message. One of the rune cards for my reading. One of the rune. Okay. Here we go. Rune Oracle. And please bear with me with the pronunciation. Thurizak. Symbol is the thorn or the hammer. And this rune represents the small trials. It's dedicated to the god Thor. It contains the double polarity of life and death. Now, I am familiar with Thor. This is Thorn, not Thor, by the way. I automatically thought of the movie. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I did. I'm bad. Okay. Now, we have saged. Smudged. We smudged. Okay, we need 3 cards. We need to pick out 3 cards here for the energy of the Timeless Energy. Timeless Energy. Spirit Guide Me. Spirit Guide Me with the energy for today's Timeless. Spirit Guide Me with energy for today's. Energy for today. Timeless energy for today. Spirit Guide Me. Timeless energy for today. Spirit Guide Me. Timeless energy. Oh. Okay. I get the 3 of Pentacles. These cards are a little shiny. I don't know what your visibility is there. This is the 3 of Pentacles. We're going to set that right there. I lay all 3 cards down, and then we have a little go about. See if there's a message we can find. Spirit Guide Me with the Timeless Energy today. Spirit Guide Me with the Timeless Energy today. Spirit Guide Me with the Timeless Energy today. Okay. I got the 2 of Wands, Also in reverse. One more card for timeless energy. One more card. Oh, well, that didn't take much. And that one jumped right out. Just flipped right out. Judgment. Okay, that's our third card. Now, crown chakras is something I'm trying to learn a little bit about. And right off the top, we have the third eye, and we have the third eye. The first two cards have the third eye chakra. Third eye chakra is intuitive. Straight up, that's probably the first thing everybody thinks of. Oh, the third eye. In the chakras, and I am not a learned person. But it is insight. It's clairvoyance sometimes. And visionary. Those would be the top picks for the third eye. Easily finding the words to communicate. Perception. You solve problems easily. You have insight. You are intuitive. And you trust it. It's pretty secure in your ability. Well, some people are intuitive, but they don't trust it. But in this case, first two cards are shouting third eye. So we're talking intuition, perception. Knowledge is actually one of the definitions for the third eye. Most people automatically would assume the obvious. They wouldn't know about the other ones because they're rarely mentioned. Knowledge, imagination, and creativity. It's a Jupiter energy as well. Speaking of Jupiter, the Three of Pentacles is a Jupiter energy as well. The Two of Wands is a Mars. It's Aries. Mars and Aries, which is March to April. The Three of Pentacles is Jupiter, I think, and Earth. It might have both. Because of the Pentacles. Yeah. Jupiter, Earth, Capricorn. Capricorn. Mars is, well, right off the top of your head, you would think fire sign. It's a war. But there's a lot more to Mars. Mars automatically is assumed to be something of a fighting type of energy. But it can also be very protective. Or amorous. I mean, like, yeah, it's a fire energy. People see the war. They don't see the athletic. They don't see the protective. It's not mentioned. Now with the Jupiter, I always get stuck with this. The gambling, it's a gambling card. I used to, when I was learning this, I would watch out for that one. I live in Nevada. But it's abundance. Philanthropist. Perfect word for a personality, if you're ruled by Jupiter, would be like a philanthropist. Something like that. Abundance philanthropist. Now, Judgment. The Judgment is Pluto. This is a crown chakra. The Judgment is Pluto. Let's scratch my head. Pluto. Ah, that's right. I just did this one. And I just forgot it. It was hard for me to pull this stuff up right off the top of my head. Pluto. Pluto is generational, long term. It can be death and a rebirth. So, starting over, ending something, starting over. Change, which is caused by some type of upheaval. You just got fired. Not necessarily the death of a person, but the loss of something, a requirement of change that is suddenly causing upheaval. But Pluto is long term. And they do that because it takes so long for the planet to move around up there. But because it's not the only planet that would be rebirth, death and rebirth. There's another one up there that is defined in that way. But with Pluto, it just takes so long to get around. So it kind of makes a name for itself. Okay. Going back to the Three of Pentacles. Third eye energy. You like learning. It is in reverse, though. This Three of Pentacles is in reverse. So, sloppy. Commonplace ideas. Commonplace ideas. Sloppy. Lower quality. Okay. In reverse. Lacking organization. Poor financial decisions. Well, it's a Capricorn energy, and like I said, it's a third eye, which is intuitive. As remarkable as it might seem, this is supposed to be a third eye energy, but it is in reverse. So we're talking backwards, aren't we? You don't have balance. Your organization's not that good. You're sloppy. Equality standards. You're commonplace. You're preoccupied. You ever had a conversation with somebody that can't, like, remove themselves from whatever they're so involved in to even answer a question? You're preoccupied. You're sloppy. I'll make the habit of, I guess in some cases, expecting other people to do the work you don't want to do. Probably not something that you want to run into in the workforce. Because if that's your coworker, I'm sorry. Now, Two of Wands. Also in reverse. Trouble. Could be restraint, which is caused by others. Trouble stuck right out. Surprised. Surprise. You're restricted. Could be negotiations have failed, but lack of activity. fear, change, or and undecided, but restricted. Some kind of restricted. Change. Intuitive is supposed to be the energy for this. But this is a Mars card. The fire energy of Mars. Which could be protective. But if you're restrictive, it could be protective energy, but restrictive. Well, there's a minute right there. Could be protective energy, but restrictive. Maybe it's restrictive because you're being protected. Interesting way to look at it. And then there's a balance card here. With your lacking of balance, another third eye energy, intuitive. Intuitive could be sensitive. You ever felt like somebody's talking behind your back? You kind of pick up on it, but you know, not right, sure, absolutely positive. Was intuitive, could be like very highly sensitive, but you're not sure. Again, sloppiness. This could be money problems. This could be commonplace ideas or lack of skill. Lack of skill. And you're being restricted for your own protection. That would make sense. You're not highly skilled. You're sloppy. You have a lower quality standard, but you're sloppy, and I'm not quite sure if that would automatically be accident prone or careless, but you're sloppy. The quality of your work isn't quite up to standard, and you're being restricted for your own protection. If I was your friend and your work quality wasn't up to standard and I was trying to help you save your job, I would be protecting you. Well, that would make sense. See, this is a fire sign though. You have to have a little bit of fire to protect yourself, or maybe it's somebody else protecting you. But there's your Mars energy. This is an Aries card. You might be dealing with an Aries, or you might know an Aries, or maybe an Aries is the one who is your friend, who's protecting you because you're sloppy. This is a Capricorn. Now, Capricorns are hard-working. Capricorn technically is hard-working, but they're not really very intelligent. They're more hard-working and skilled at what they're doing. But they're really good at getting certain, like, I know some very highly skilled craftsmen who are Capricorn, detail-oriented, hard-working, long hours, but in reverse. You're sloppy. The quality of your work isn't any good. Or maybe it's just barely making the bar. Barely making the bar. Capricorn, hard-working, but not smart. I'm not saying if you're a Capricorn that you're not smart, sweetie, but that's what the book says. And you have Jupiter energy, which actually magnifies this energy in reverse, Jupiter would magnify this. So your skill level is a little bit on the sloppy side. And you might be really, really hardworking, but maybe, yeah, you're not, like, barely above the bar there. And like I said, in reverse, you might be having some trouble caused by others. You might be having some trouble caused by others. And you've been restricted. Negotiations have failed. Your options are limited. Because of the sloppiness. Because even though this upright is skilled, in reverse, so you're restricted. Maybe you don't have that many options. You like to think that there might be some options. Maybe you work in the workforce and somebody is watching over you. You've been restricted. You're being protected. You're being protected. The restriction is protection. Because of what I've already said, which we don't need to go over again, but you're being protected. The restriction is protecting you. Someone's probably doing that for you. Our third card, Pluto energy, is a crown chakra card, and upright, the Judgment. This is a card that says you have to account for the manner in which you have used your opportunities. You have to account for the manner in which you've used your opportunities. The Judgment is rebirth. It is rebirth. It is. That's the word you hear with all of the other readers. Death and rebirth, right? This says development, improvement, promotion in the upright. Promotion, improvement. Based on these first two cards, you probably could use some improvement. Okay. But in order to do this, you also have to make some kind of atonement. You missed a lot of opportunities. You really messed up bad. Somebody's going to give you another chance, maybe. You have to take into account how you've handled those opportunities that you've been dealt. And you probably messed them up because you were sloppy. And somebody put you on restriction. Wouldn't let you get that promotion. Would not even consider you. But you have come and made some type of atonement. Some type of improvement. Or promised to make an improvement. Because there's some kind of promotion. Maybe you want to try again for that opportunity. And you've got to convince somebody, because you know what, so far you got a bad record, right? Maybe your self-evaluation of your past mistakes have caused you to work on making improvements. This upright is decisive. This upright is decisive. But it's also self-evaluation. It's just not like the judgment card where you can have rebirth and whatever it was. Self-evaluation. You're looking at this. You're looking at this. You're either making improvements or you're promising somebody that you're going to make improvements. But self-evaluation. Asking for forgiveness or forgiving yourself. Doing a little bit of self-evaluation on whatever you've done in the past. Now, I'm not going to assume that this is an employment situation. It does kind of sound like it. It could be any kind of situation that you're in. You're sloppy. In the reverse. Where you should be hardworking. You're sloppy. You slacked off. You're sloppy. You slacked off. You were restricted by somebody. You were restricted because you were lacking. You were lacking. You were sloppy. The quality of whatever. It doesn't have to be work. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but it could be something personal. Sloppy. Lower standards. But you reached this point where you did a little bit of self-evaluation. You reached this point, and this is not saying something where you lost your job or nobody wants to be friends with you. That is not what this is saying. Those things have not happened, not according to what I'm looking at. What I'm looking at here is you made a self-evaluation. Maybe you want to fit in. And you had to take a good look. At who you wanted to fit in with and why you're not actually being invited to the table. Because you've been restricted. And you don't want to be restricted. This is a card that blames, which is something I don't believe in. It also stands for forgiveness. But to be honest, the one that's sticking out like the sore thumb is you have made self-evaluation. It doesn't say, at least not to me, anything in here about someone else passing judgment. So, self-evaluation of whatever, because you want. You don't want to be restricted. Whoever's stopping you, whoever's restricting you, be it a job or a personal situation with people that you want to make friends with, be it a job or a personal situation with a particular person that you would like to spend more time with. No matter what the situation is, you had to stop and take a look because you were restricted. That looks like the message that we've got here today. Now, let's look at the rune and see if it was accurate. The small trials. Double polarity of life and death. You've been restricted. It might be a life or death situation, especially if you fall in love with somebody that doesn't want to have anything to do with you because you're sloppy. Just like painting I don't want to make the habit of painting pictures, but, you know, you get the idea. This is the hammer. Self-evaluation. Hitting you hard in the head. Yeah, that kind of like fits in there. Hitting you hard in the head. Self-evaluation, because you've been restricted. Because of these things. Well, that seems to fit right in, doesn't it? I'm starting to like these rune oracles. And that seems to be the message that came out today. I do hope that you keep in mind this is for entertainment purposes only. Please do not, if it doesn't resonate, don't make it yours. If it doesn't resonate, don't make this yours. You're always welcome to come back, join me again. In the future, I'll be trying to do these timeless energy videos as often as I'm able to. Thank you for keeping time with me today, for visiting, and have a good night.